In this video, we'll show you how you can calculate the upper and lower control limits for a p-chart. So given your variable is categorical, and so when you're looking at that characteristic, you can then sample a certain sample of a size, and then you can obtain successes and failures from that sample. That implies that you're going to summarize that using a proportion, which means that we can use a p-chart to look at the variability between our subgroups. The first thing we need to do is we need to calculate the upper and lower control limits. So in general, these are p bar plus or minus 3 times the square root of p bar 1 minus p bar over n, where p bar is equal to the average of each one of the subgroup proportions divided by, or the summation of each of the subgroup proportions divided by the total number of subgroups. We're going to call that k. So sum these from 1 to k. So in this example, this would be equal to the sum. You could calculate it a couple of different ways, but my suggestion is that you add up all the values, so 20 plus 10 plus 15 plus all these values up here, your counts, add these up. This comes out to be equal to 211. And you take these and then you divide by the total sample size, so 100, and this will give you then the sum of all the proportions, so over 100. Do this, then you take this, and then to take the average, you will divide by k, which in this case is 12. So there's 12 subgroups, so 211 over 100 divided by 12. This gives me 2.11 over 12, or an average of all the sample proportions equal to 0.1758. All right, so now this is pretty straightforward. Basically, I can just plug this into this formula up here, and I get 0.1758 plus or minus 3 times the square root of 0.1758 times 1 minus 0.1758, divide by n, the number of samples in each subgroup, so that's equal to 100, and altogether this gives me 0.1758 plus or minus 0.1142. That's what these come out to be, and I get a lower control limit equal to 0.0616 for the proportions, and an upper control limit equal to 0.2900. And this is how we can calculate the lower and upper control limits for a p-chart.